Order. Why not? Let's keep doing that again. I haven't had smoothies in a while. Make me drink something. Yum, CBD, and durian. Oh god. Also, I should probably check to see if all of these things are still available from the place that I was ordering from. Googling what crocodiles eat that can go in smoothies. Oh no. Hello.
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 All right. You can hear me now?
Yep.
Posting the thing. And let people come on. I'll eat some sushi. Mm-hmm. Just wait for people to get on, then we'll get started. Yeah, try to whiff down as much sushi as I can while I wait for people to get on. Yeah, I'm on a different computer today. A lot of my computers are slowly it's not working on Discord anymore. Like Discord is breaking on all my computers. I have like one desktop computer and one phone left. I only have two computer things left to use Discord on, and I keep up to. I gotta complain more and try to get them to help me to make Discord log in on my laptops. I don't know what's going on.
Looks
It's
like
good
we're
that the
about
audio.
leveled off.
What's that?
Looks like we're about leveled off.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is the weekly Midjourney office hours. We do it every week, Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Basically, what we do is we talk about what we're working on and what we're thinking about, and then we try to take some questions. So let's get started. Basically, we're going to spend a week, I think, adding more features to related to rooms to kind of like see if we can get it to be a place that people want to use them more. So we'll like add private rooms, and we're going to add recent rooms, and we're going to add like a few other important features that help people use them more. And we'll try to even like add a public thing where people can like watch the rooms without having an account. I don't know exactly when that'll happen, but like things like that I think will help people want to use them more. And then we're gonna try to add some more explore things like trending stuff on Midjourney, see if we can add some trends. And then we're moving towards opening it up to more people. And then, no, if you don't have any account and you're in a room, you just can watch. You can only watch. You can't actually make anything. But maybe you have some friends and you want to like have them all in the room on voice while you make stuff, you know? But yeah. So we'll see that, and then we'll start moving towards making the website like more open to people. And yep, And then in parallel, we were working on the personalization in 6.1. The personalization we found was sort of like training in an unstable way, where like every time we trained it, it would make like 50% of people then 50% good in a different way. And so we stabilized the training, but then it kind of got worse for everyone, and we weren't very happy with it. And then we threw it out and made a new version, and I think that version is starting to look good. And so now we're trying to get that version wrapped up, and then we'll push it out to guides and mods again for testing, and then everyone's happy, we'll deploy it. So just sort of, that's been some trouble, but I think the hope is we get it stable and good for everybody, and when it's good, it's really good. So I'm excited about it. And then there's 6.1 stuff that's related to image quality and sort of coherence and text rendering, and stuff is continuing to work, but there's sort of these like little corner cases, and so we're trying to get the corner cases so nothing gets worse. At some point, I might decide that I'd rather like make 1% of things worse to make the other things better. So I'll probably start that conversation today. But I think the hope was to try to make it so nothing was worse. Yeah, when I was happy with personalization, I was happy with my own personalization, but people weren't necessarily happy with theirs. And then, I think it was kind of one of those things where because it was sort of randomly good for 50% of people, we had to be kind of careful with with that. So we're trying to get it better still. And yeah, and then there's still work on V7, which is going to have much smarter, much more data, much better prompt understanding, better multiple objects. Hopefully we'll have it'll be faster and we'll do bigger batches and all that, and better aesthetics stuff too. Harder to say where it stops, because I think too many people are working on 6.1 and personalization related things to kind of fully have a breadth of all the V7s, like which V7 stuff is going to make it in. But I do think V7 is going to be a very noticeable jump in performance. So at this point, maybe 30 or 40% of the V7 things look like they'll get into 6.1. So if we get that image quality improvement out, it's going to be a pretty big deal. When it's not breaking anything, it looks really, 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 really good. So. Mm-hmm. What else? Eating sushi. Sushi is good. Mm-hmm. That's mainly it. It's been a lot of similar stuff for the last few. It's been a lot of similar stuff for the last month or so. I think we're doing a lot more things than usual, which is good. But then in some ways, because we're doing more things, we're also going slower, which is bad. So we're trying to figure out ways to get people to concentrate on things and kind of get the few things out, but kind of a balancing act between doing too many things and doing too few things. So we'll see. But everything's kind of chugging along. So that's the important thing. Anything else? No. Yep. There's a lot of R&D going on, whether it's 3D or video related or real-time models. A lot of things are training, and everything's gonna work. So it's just all going really slow. I wish we had twice as many people sometimes, but unfortunately there just aren't enough people floating around with the skills to do a lot of the heavier model training. So I guess that's it for now. Seems like not enough today. Seems like people have questions, so why don't we go to some lightning round? So if you want to type your questions in the VC text channel. One person wanted to know why we're putting a lot of effort into personalization. I think we're at the point now where a lot of the aesthetics are limited by the fact that we're trying to that there's sort of so many that's trying to make something look good for everyone, and everyone is mostly like a 38-year-old male, and so that I think is getting to the point where like it might could be like pushing other demographics out because it keeps looking better and better for 38-year-old males. So that's not good. And then on top of that, not all 38-year-old males are the same. So I think it's hard to describe, but there's a lot of assumptions in the Midjourney model that come from the community. And so when it can kind of personalize to you instead of the whole community, it really is a lot better. We are looking at making some kind of visual dictionary for SREF. There's sort of an infinite number of styles, but we're looking at still kind of, making some kind of interface for that. We're kind of debating what the right thing to do there is, but yep. Let's see. All right. There are definitely a lot of people automating the service right now. We try our best to kind of do captchas and things like that to kind of make sure people are real people. At some point, maybe we have to put some foot down on some of what seem to be bots. Like it seems like maybe I don't know 10% of it might be like as much as 10 or 10% or 20% of all of our cloud costs right now are coming from people trying to automate the service, like by making like cat over again. So we probably will clamp down on that sometime, but yeah, trying really careful to make it not impact any regular people that just use it a lot. I don't know if there'll be a wait list for the website or not. I'm not sure what's going to happen. We're debating a few rollout ways. Yeah, we were going to do a caption party, but we figured out something else that might be better for captions for now, so we're going with that for now. But we are thinking of doing some psychometric surveys soon and demographic surveys that try to explore the connection between like mind and demographics and aesthetics. I don't think the AI will run out of data soon for our stuff. We're pretty far. We actually don't have that much data yet. I think each V7 will have a lot more data. V8 will have a lot more data. Um, 6.1 will break SREF. I don't think so. I mean, it might not be exactly the same, but it should be pretty similar. But I'm not sure.
From what the devs have said, it shouldn't.
Yeah, it shouldn't. But I don't want to say it won't, but it shouldn't. Like 6.1 right now looks remarkably similar to 6, but with like radically better image quality and coherence. Yeah, I should join a prompt battle sometime. Yeah, it sounds good. Midjourney video, will it be at least not as slow motion? I'm not. I can't say I know exactly what the Midjourney video stuff will look like right now, but it will be very different than what everybody else is doing because I don't really like what everyone else is doing. Mobile will probably be a priority slightly before we open up the website to everybody else. I don't really know what the rules around downloading images are for non-subscribers, but probably. I mean, they can download images anywhere they see them on the internet or the website or the gallery, the front page gallery. So they can screenshot the images, and we don't let them download the images. So I'm not sure it makes sense to do like extra security. I'm not sure yet, like which rooms regular people will be able to watch, but we want at least let people be able to share a private room with people who aren't subscribers. Like, maybe it's a meeting or something, and like a designer is leading it with Midjourney. Um, we're not really adding more. I think we're try to increase the accuracy of the more than we're going to add like more appeal stuff, but maybe we'll add some appeal stuff at some point. Yeah, Midjourney is remote. I do think that we would like rooms to be used by a bunch of people, but I think it's possible that right now Discord does it and Midjourney does it, and then most of the Midjourney is mostly the website is mostly people who already have access to Discord, and so I think the question is like if somebody does not have access to Discord, the rooms are the only way to interact with other people in real time on the platform. So I think we'll see the usage go up when people are using the website and do not have Discord accounts. But then I also think the usage will go up as we have the private rooms. So and some of the like recent rooms, we're going to change the way that it kind of opens and closes. And there's a couple things there that I think will be helpful. There will be like higher and lower resolution things in the future, but I can't say I know exactly what they are because the image quality will get a lot better in general. So even for our current resolution, the performance could be a lot higher. We did run a script to fix broken Discord links, but I don't know if everything can be fixed, but I'm not sure. I think like 99% of things were fixed. But I don't think we're gonna do a tuner for V6, but we'll see. I think it's not. It was a little like clumsy and expensive. We'd rather have something that's more sophisticated, but we'll see. There's a lot of good prompters on the dev team. I don't really know what best prompter means. I do not think SREF codes will work in V7. I think V7 will have different systems. Yeah, I don't know about like remix and things like that. Though a lot of like little missing web features will go in and try to add them at some point, but it's not important right now. They're all like edge case features. I don't have specific dates for specific things that we're releasing right now because most of the things that we want to release next are not in like the QA phase yet. I think personalization will work with SREF. I think even though everybody is happy with the personalization, like it's better than not personalized, we still think it could be a lot better. So we want to make it as good as it should be. I don't really want to release too many versions of personalization because like I'm just so tired of like backwards compatibility and just, like having 1,000 options for everything. So I think, one of the good things about having backwards compatibility is that people don't have to worry about stuff. And one of the bad things is it kind of makes us want to release things less because then we have to support everything forever and all combinations of things. So, I think we don't really want to update I don't really want to release a not as good personalization when we'll have a better one coming. I don't think we know exactly what the V7 launch will look like yet. Yeah, it's possible to add a lot of features. We're just not adding features to the website very fast right now. So basically, we just don't have enough people on the website to kind of keep up with all the things that we should be doing. So unfortunately, we're just moving really, we're kind of, yeah, we can't really move rapidly in response to user requests, which is unfortunate. But we are doing important things and making slow and steady progress. We're definitely going to get better at uncommon fruits and vegetables. Our storytelling team is continuing to make cool things. There's a lot of blind spots in the model still, certainly. No, people can run the same job over and over again. I don't mind. It's just sometimes people are like, I think there's a lot of like botnets in China that are trying to use Midjourney for stock art websites or something, and it's like probably like 10%. It's like some weird set of things like that, and I think it's like 10% of our total cloud cost right now, which sucks. It's like a lot of money that people are. It's kind of like but it feels a bit of like a hit and run job. So we're gonna, we try to shut them down, but I think we're gonna try to get more aggressive at some point. Yeah, the 6.1, I am hoping will have much better upscaling, better image quality in general for everything. We're gonna try to let people do chat and voice in the rooms, even if they're not members for private rooms, but not for the public rooms. Because if it's a private room and you invited someone there, you probably want to let them, use it. Um, I don't know if there is a GPT-5 yet. I think there kind of isn't. Like they have models, but I think no one's happy with the models yet at OpenAI. And I don't know. I'm not convinced that. Yeah, I know they have stuff that's better than what they released, and they're gonna release some stuff, but I don't have a sense that they're sitting on something that's like really like 10x better. Um, I don't think anybody in AI is sitting on stuff 10x better. Yeah, I know a lot of people, some people don't like features that we add, and then they're like, why don't you work on my purple feature? And then, there's like 12 people who use the purple feature, but then I know it's really important for those people, but like, yeah, I think we have to put most of our time into stuff that the 50% of people will use. And yeah, I mean, it's a hard situation where we have more features than people, but I think that we can't really make everyone happy. All we can kind of work on is stuff that's inspiring to us. So we're going to do that. uh, yeah. Um, you can use a 5.2 tuner style, 5.2 tuner image as an sref if you want. Should work. Trying to look for questions. People are just saying what they want me to do. Yeah, I mean, if you want me to do a particular feature, vote for it on the leaderboard on the website. If it's otherwise, I'll want everyone to be like zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Like, just fucking crop the image, bro. Upscale and crop is the same thing as a 2x zoom, and yeah, I guess it's. Don't have a specific date for 6.1. There's going to be more stuff in every version, so every version gets a lot smarter and knows about more things. Yeah, there might be a new OpenAI search engine soon. That sounds fun. Same as Perplexity, I guess. Or just the chat Gemini. If you go to like, I use it a lot, gemini.google.com/chat. So I guess OpenAI is just going to make a version of that. Very innovative. Maybe helps with fundraising because they'll be like, I'm coming after Google. We want Google money. We do not recognize hex color codes. We would like to do more color stuff one day, but we're probably I don't know, we experimented with some color stuff. I think we're like there's a small chance that we could release some color stuff for V6, but I'm not so sure. We have the ability to release a color thing, but we need to spend a bit more time on it. I'd rather spend time on other things right now. Like the personalization and the maybe even like a style. It's like a style explorer might be better than adding a color control thing, but I don't know. You'll be able to, you can click hide on the website. There's hide and delete are the same thing, except for that you can unhide an image, but you can't undelete an image. Um, I don't think you want to do anything too crazy with the random sref numbers. It's just meant to be like a way to get determinism. So like if you see one that you like, you can kind of get back to it more than it is a way to like somebody to actually try all 40 billion or whatever. A lot of them look similar, so it's not necessarily worth it to even make all of them. You know, like some of them are gonna be very similar to each other because they'll be nearby, but try to make more of a style explorer at some point so that it's something a bit more productive. But it is fun to see some cool stuff coming out of there. Um, um, yeah, I think the polarization is. I mean, our society is polarized on certain issues. Do you think there'll ever be an AI that everyone agrees is correct and that will unite opinions, or will we just have different factions with their own AI models? Um, yeah, I mean, it seems kind of like a religious question, you know, like will AI become God and then it'll tell us what's true? Or will there be like multiple gods and a pantheon of gods? You know, I don't really know the answer to that. Um, yeah. Sometimes I do think there are multiple truths that can seem like they're contradicting, but they can both be true at the same time. So you know, I think that truth is sort of more not really like a particle, like it's either this truth or that truth, but it's more like a wave, and there's many truths can kind of pass through the same spot. Um, I use Gemini over GPT-4 for things that aren't related to code. And then like if it's like a quick question that needs the internet, I use Gemini. If it's code, I use GPT-4. And if it's like being smart, I use Claude. Depends on what you want to do. Like, I think the GPT-4 is definitely like, the ChatGPT is definitely everyone's go-to if you want to like cheat on homework. But it's just not useful for me. So I use it sometimes for code or mostly just for code. I think Claude, I like Claude a lot more for, having conversations about things. But I use the Gemini. I use the Google Gemini instead of Google Search now. Like so they're saying that like it's like a little too hard for Google Search, and I want an answer fast. I'll use Gemini. So I feel like Gemini is pretty good for like a kind of a quick search. Um, I hope everyone's enjoying the website. China is going to use more AI. All the countries are going to use more AI. Um, am I looking forward to Apple announcements? I don't really look forward to anything related to Apple. I don't really think about Apple. I'm not sure how relevant they are, like as a company anymore, but I do think that the new iPad is cool. I was surprised to see them make the pencil better, which I think is a good thing, and maybe we'll make something for the iPad at some point. And then I do. It would be nice if they come out with a new MacBook. I might get a new MacBook, but um, yeah, I don't know if I think Apple. Yeah, Apple is not. Apple definitely makes products that everybody uses, but it's not clear they have like they're like defining much about the future anymore. Like, well, how important is like I want a new MacBook, but is it important to me to get a new MacBook? No, my MacBook was kind of fine, you know. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if like Apple wakes up at all from AI, but seems like they aren't. They're having a hard time um, thinking about like it seems like they're having a hard time with technology and with product. So everything that Tim Cook is good at, like logistics, they seem like they're really good at still. Um, but I'm not sure that all the other things they seem to be having a hard time everywhere else. And I think it's because you'd like to think that a company it's sometimes tempting to think that like an individual person doesn't matter in a big company, but um, Apple was built from the top down, and there was a very delicate and highly functioning team built around Steve Jobs, but everyone kind of hated each other. So the second Steve Jobs died, the sort of like core team that that sort of ran Apple blew apart, and sort of like it was sort of like never really came back together. So yeah, it's I think it's hard because like I think Steve made Tim CEO because Tim was kind of like, stable and everyone liked him. But then, um and so if he had made anybody else CEO, it might have blown apart more. But like at the end of the day, like, you know, yeah. Um I don't think I don't think Apple was really built to be a coherent company after Steve Jobs died. Like so like he wasn't really building it to outlast him. I don't think he ever thought about it until like the last minute. I mean, to be fair, he died young, so maybe it wasn't like he should be thinking about, but yeah, it's unfortunate. Um, Whoa. For some reason, my TV just turned on. I'm gonna turn it off real quick because it might create background sound. 1 second. That was weird. Um. Okay. Haunted. It's more like autoplay on YouTube. I don't know. YouTube's like, you better watch me. Um. Yeah, the Apple TV probably would have been a good. I like a real Apple. Yeah, they're all the real Apple TV. I think like the box, but there's the big TV they were working on. Um. Yeah. Okay. Stop talking shit about me, David. No, I think Steve would be pretty pissed about Apple right now. I think everyone kind of knows that. Yeah. I mean, in general, like, I feel like he was kind of angry about random things at Apple all the time, even when he was there, and that's why things were good because he was fixing them. So, you know. um, yeah. I think a lot of the tech companies have a really hard time after the founders are gone because when the founder is there, it's not that the founders are necessarily like smarter or better anyway, but the founders sort of remember when the company was sort of delicate and when things were risky, and they were capable of operating within that delicacy and risk. And so when people join, Google or Apple 10 years later, or they're in a different position, and then the company's in a position of risk, they may not feel as empowered or as bold to address it as the original founders would have. And so there's this thing about like large companies who don't have the founders that are approaching some area of risk where they need to take extreme action. And without the founders, they often can't. And so I think we're in a weird place like that with a lot of the tech companies right now. I think the most surprising thing is that Microsoft actually is taking extreme actions, like in spite of the founder not being in charge. But it's possible that Bill Gates is sort of in the background still and kind of encourages extreme behavior. So maybe that helps. I'm not really sure what happens at that level. I feel like Microsoft was always kind of aggressive, though. There's something about the Microsoft culture which is sort of like extremely aggressive, and so it's possible that the like culture of extreme aggression kind of actually create some health. But I don't know. Yeah, I do think that we could have like a Steve Jobs AI. In fact, I would not be entirely surprised if Apple could probably build a Steve Jobs API. I think Apple could build a Steve Jobs AI that would probably do a better job as a CEO than anybody they could find in the future. That would be cool. They have like whatever they have $100 billion in cash still. They should put like $10 billion into the like Steve Jobs AI, Jobs.ai. That would be like this shitty startup name. Um, I bet they definitely could, but that'd be so cool. I actually like if there is a way for me to create a David AI that like does a lot of my CEO work, I would absolutely let it. Like a lot of being a CEO involves um, kind of repeating things over and over again and just being consistent. And I don't know, some people are like into doing that, especially like if you like to feel important and all you have to do is say the same thing every single day to feel important, then yeah, like being CEO is great for your ego. But if you want to like get stuff done, I think it's a bit uh, it hurts a bit to like repeat the same things every single day and to feel like that, man, I could really have like an AI, like something like a robot do this. So I do think I will. If it's, I was going to start doing that today. I forgot, but I was going to start having the AI. I was going to start recording myself for all my meetings with the AIs and start making it into a David AI. I was going to start doing that. I forgot doing that. I really do want to try to. If I can record myself repeating myself and then I get AIs to start doing it, that would be a great value to me. Um, yeah. I yeah. I definitely think there are things that humans can do, that AIs can't. So obviously, like there is a reason to have a CEO, but I do think that an awful lot of what a CEO does could be automated and should be. Um, yeah. to be fair, I'm kind of of the opinion like if we don't need a person to do it, and it looks the same, I usually let the machine do it because then I want the human to do what sort of uniquely we can do and maybe what we might most enjoy doing. 24/7 office hours. That'd be great. Honestly, I could totally see there being a 24/7 office hours where it's like zoom in is not we're coming right now. We are just crop your image. Just crop your image. Sorry, we're not working on zoom in right now. Just crop your image. Hey, yeah, we're subfolder is a good idea, but we're not working on it right now. We have a billing problem. Use billing at midjourney.com. No API. Yep, not working on an API. Not working on an API. I could definitely, honestly, yeah, I could definitely see that. I would be so happy to have an AI do that. I want to work on the things that people will use rather than the things that people will not use. Yeah. Good things are better than bad things. Maybe eventually just like it just yeah. What about boobs? Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely like a lot of things that I just have to repeat over and over again. So we'll see. Hopefully we can do it. Yeah, it's a good reminder for me to start recording myself sooner rather than later. I have not watched the Fall TV show. I guess I should check it out. David. Yeah, I guess David is pretty good. David Words of Wisdom. The David Words of Wisdom bot sounds just like Confucius. Like Confucius says. David says. Confucius. Pretty good, actually. All right. It seems like we're drawing up on the questions, so we can let a few voice people on and do one last thing of questions, and then we'll call it a day. So if anybody wants to get up for voice questions, you can raise your hand, and we'll do a few voice.
Hello, David. Do you hear me?